But if you'll note, right here we have a bit of a gap between the grip and the frame on both sides. You can see that our grip doesn't line up with our frame. The grip at some point in its life has taken a hit and has bent forward. Well, what I need to do is move the grip frame rearward. If I continue to bend that frame, I'm just going to continue to cause problems.
Hi, and welcome to Over the Gunsmith's Shoulder. I'm Gene Kelly, president of the American Gunsmithing Institute, and in this segment, Master Gunsmith Ken Brooks is going to walk you step by step through a gunsmithing repair. You're going to learn a lot. And if you'd like to learn to be a certified professional gunsmith, then go to AmericanGunsmithingInstitute.com and request an information package. Now let's learn from Ken.
Welcome to another Over the Shoulder. Robert is behind me looking over my shoulder. So he's pretending he's you guys. All right, enough fooling around. We actually have a repair in that I've never had to do before, this specific type of repair. So we have a Smith & Wesson revolver. This is a 17, this one's a -3, I believe. So the 22, K Frame 22. Neat guns. I actually really like these guns. And this one has a unique defect that I've never had to repair that on a Smith & Wesson revolver before. So it's kind of a neat one. So the gun looks okay, but if you'll note, right here we have a bit of a gap between the grip and the frame on both sides. If we turn it over, you can see that our grip doesn't line up with our frame. Keep coming around. Again, we don't line up like we're supposed to. And up here you see we got some chips even in our grip. The grip at some point in its life has taken a hit and has bent forward. So the grip itself is actually further forward. Now the customer, he saw these chips when he bought it, but he was going to put bigger grips on. Well, when he got his bigger grips, which we have, and we'll take a look at that in a minute, he said something's not right. So he brought it to me to take a look at it. And so we got to looking at it, and he said, I think it's bent. And of course we know that revolver frames are relatively soft. You can adjust the rebound and the timing, the cylinder stop timing on a Colt by thumping the grip frame. We know they're soft and they bend. I just, for whatever reason, I've never had to repair make this kind of a repair before. So it's kind of neat. So I'm going to tear this gun apart real quick and we can take a look at how some of the things are laid out. Usually to be bent to this degree, there is some damage to the gun. And so I've been looking at the gun. So right here you can see it's kind of rounded over and kind of what I'd like to say barfed over a little bit. So I'm guessing that this hit kind of like that at some point in its life, or something hit it in that position, bending the frame forward. Again, I don't know, but obviously the frame doesn't fit like it should. And at this point I'm going to take the cylinder and side plate and strip out the guts so things aren't likely to get damaged while we're monkeying around with it. So I have a way that I'm going to try and straighten this frame. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it's going to work or not. We shall see. There are different ways to do it. We could always heat things up red hot, bend it back into place, do anneal it, and then and I probably don't have to take all these parts out, but I'm going to. After we heated it, bent it, shaped it, annealed it, polish it to the right position, and then we'd have to re-blue it, of course, but if we don't have to do it that way, I sure don't want to. So I basically just stripped out the guts. I'm going to put the side plate on. The side plate's going to act as a support so things don't shift. We want to be able to put our side plate back in, and we want to maintain the integrity from from here forward. We simply want to bend this portion of it. And I'm going to grab those large grips here in a minute so we can see how they fit. Come on now. So here's the grip. And you can see we just don't fit right. I'm going to take that screw out too. It just doesn't fit right. We start to hit right here, so the back can't rotate up. We don't fit right. Same thing on the other side. Parts just don't line up because we're bent too far forward. So I want to go back to when it got damaged and how. We don't know when or how it got damaged. It looks like it probably got dropped right here. Normally, when revolver frames get bent to this degree, this part of the grip would be broken. So I would guess, now I don't know, this is just speculation, that these probably aren't the original grips that were on it. The grips that were on it probably got broken when it fell, and they replaced these, and when they were just forcing them on, they chipped out this area here at the front. Now again, I don't know that, just speculation, but for this to be hit, and that's about the only place I can see where it's really chewed up. You know, we got good bluing, the serrations are fine, there's not a lot of gouge marks here. That's the only spot. The grips usually get broken. So again, that's just speculation. So how are we going to do this? Well, what I need to do is move the grip frame rearward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to support this area of the frame like so, and I'm going to hit right here with a large heavy dead blow. And actually both of them are going to be lead. I got a lead, I'll just show you, a lead, I don't even know what to call it. It's not really a babbitt, it's just a big lead ingot, I guess. So I'm going to essentially set this like so for support. I'm going to take another big heavy lead babbitt and I'm going to hit right here on this one. Now I've already talked to the customer about how I'm going to do this. And it's either going to work or it's not. And I've already got the okay. If this doesn't work, he doesn't want to reblue it. He doesn't want me heating it red and bending things and tweaking. At that point, I will just simply stop. We'll talk about it. And then I will fit the larger grips to the gun and go from there. But that's the plan right now. I got good support here. So our side plate, none of this should get damaged. It's lead, so it has some give, but it's relatively rigid. And again, same thing with the babbitt. Hit here, bend the grip frame back or down. The problem we're going to see is that it's going to want to twist like that because I'm just going to be holding it like so. And I don't know that I can hit it and maintain the revolver straight up and down while I'm doing that. So we're going to see. Again, we know revolver frames are soft, so we'll give it a go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try it right here like this. I may have to get up and change so I got some more leverage on the edge of the counter, but right now this is the way we're going to do it. Well, we still got gaps where we don't want gaps. And again, I don't know that this is going to work. I may have to figure out a way to clamp the frame assembly so I can hit this. Well, I don't know for sure, but I do believe that I have a bit of a gap here where that chipped out that I did not have before. I believe this gap is shallower, as is the step down from the grip to the frame here. So we're going to just keep going. Let's take a look at this other side just for fun, shall we? So yeah, that gap's not near what it used to be. We still step down a little bit right here, and we have a larger gap right there. So it is moving, which is cool. And you can see, I'm going to stop and show you guys right here. This is the serrations in the lead from the front of the grip. But I'm not damaging the grip. And I'm using the older pair of grips just to try to get the alignment. So look how we've closed up this gap right here. Look how we still have a slight step here, but not anything like it used to be. And of course, we knew we were going to have a gap here. We're moving the grip frame back. So I think I need to do it just a little bit more. But before I do, I want to see how close this K-frame grip is to fitting on the gun. All right, we got a bit of a gap here, but that may even be from the manufacturing, not from any kind of bend. Previously, this area came into contact with the back of the trigger guard in this portion of the frame, and we couldn't even get it to sit on here. And then we have a bit of a gap here, which is only going to get a little worse if we continue to bend this back. But we're almost flush there, got a little raise. I don't want to go chipping anything and breaking the stocks. All right, so what I'm going to do is take this side off. This one on. So we have a little bit of misalignment with these grips fitting on here that I'm not sure it's from the bent frame. I think it's just the way they're manufactured. Because again, we have clearance here now. And you can see that we're tight here, the gap here. We're a little above flush there, below flush just slightly there. I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to want to be bending this too much more. Let's go back to these grips real quick. So honestly, I think I'm going to stop. I know I said I was going to do it again. I'm glad I tried the larger grips. These are the grips that the customer wants on the gun. And if I bend this frame back a little more to where the old grips, the smaller grips, fit a little better, I'm actually going to be having some problems down here. And this is going to want to shift even more. I think I'm going to leave it alone. If I keep moving that, I'm just going to run into more problems that I really don't want. And I'm going to have to be careful. So the larger grips fit on. We have a gap here, both sides. We have a gap here. Turning it around, of course, we can't see in the front. We have a slight gap between the trigger guard and the grips here. They don't rock. If I continue to bend that frame, I'm just going to continue to cause problems. This may come back a bit, so we may close up this gap here slightly because the grips will want to rotate up and forward there, but I think it's actually going to cause more problems than it's going to solve. Watch, I put these on and now they won't come off. Nope. So if I continue to bend that back, it's going to want to close that gap. Well, what the heck? Let's hit it one more time. Not nearly as hard. I think at that point I'm going to stop. And what I'll probably do is have the customer come take a look at it, make sure he's happy with that. We'll go from there. Okay, so you can see that I didn't have much support on the frame when I'm hitting that, and yet that bent quite a little bit. Be aware that revolvers bend like that. I used to we had our shop with Bob. I had a Smith & Wesson revolver, and I can't remember why we had it, but it was a shotgun. And people would always come in and tell me how super duper reliable, wonderful revolvers were compared to auto pistols. And I said, okay. But then I would take that, it was a Smith & Wesson Model 10 of some sort, and I'd thump it. You know, I wouldn't even hit it that hard, about like so, on the cylinder, and it would tweak that crane, and you couldn't pull the trigger. The cylinder wouldn't rotate. And then I'd pull out my 1911, and I'd throw it across the floor, and then go pick it up, and it would still work. It really shocked our garbage guy, our local garbage guy. I did that with him, and he was just like, holy cow. They couldn't believe that I did that. It was just kind of funny. But the revolvers they're neat. I enjoy revolvers, and I like revolvers, but they are soft. Those cranes bend real easy. Frames bend real easy. So yeah, don't hammer the wanted poster up. You'll bend your frame. So I'm going to put this back together. I got to touch base with my customer, but you saw what the defect was. We speculated where it came from, how quick how to fix it. One method. There are other methods. You can rig and fabricate a clamp system to where you could use some sort of a press to push this around, or clamp it to where you could then at that point, with it stabilized, tap it. You could heat it red with a torch. There are different ways to skin a cat, as my friend Robert likes to say. This was one quick and easy, inexpensive, with very little damage to the gun or any alterations. I'm going to clean some of the lead out of some of these grooves. But all right, guys, that's it for another one. We will see you, well, you'll see me over my shoulder.
If you want to learn real gunsmithing and see more videos like this, be sure and like and subscribe so you don't miss out. If you're interested in training to be a real gunsmith, go check out the AmericanGunsmithinginstitute.com, or for your own firearms training, AmericanGunsmith.com.